Nature's power can be both beautiful and awe-inspiring, a force that shapes our world in ways both subtle and dramatic. Yet it can also be brutal and unforgiving. Among its fiercest and most relentless displays is the blizzard. A blizzard is not just heavy snow, it's a relentless assault of wind and ice, a symphony of chaos that transforms the familiar world into a hostile, alien landscape. Imagine a curtain of white so thick it erases the horizon, swallowing up landmarks in the path ahead until all sense of direction is lost. The blizzard's signature is a blinding, disorienting fury, a force of nature that demands respect and humility from all who face it. It often begins quietly. The air grows still, almost holding its breath, then a whisper of wind stirs, carrying the first delicate flakes that hint at what's to come. Suddenly the wind howls to life, driving snow sideways in a horizontal barrage that stings the skin and blinds the eyes. The world outside becomes a swirling vortex of white, isolating anyone caught within, cutting them off from the warmth and safety of home. Cars vanish under towering drifts, and the familiar sounds of daily life are replaced by the constant haunting roar of the wind. The blizzard buries roads, snaps power lines, and isolates entire communities for days, sometimes even weeks, leaving people to rely on each other for survival. What began as a gentle winter blanket becomes a suffocating shroud, trapping everything beneath its weight and silencing the world. Yet within this terrifying spectacle, there's a strange, haunting beauty. A world reset to a blank canvas of white, pure and untouched. Every shape is softened, every flaw hidden beneath pristine snow, as if nature has pressed a reset button on the landscape. The storm rages with an energy that is both frightening and magnificent, a reminder of nature's raw, untamed power. It reminds us of the wild heart that still beats within our world, a force that cannot be tamed or predicted. Understanding blizzards is not just science, it's an act of respect, an appreciation for the full spectrum of nature's character and unpredictability. Even in our modern world, with all our technology and preparation, we remain at the mercy of the planet's immense power, reminded that nature always has the final say. Not every snowstorm is a blizzard. While all blizzards are snowstorms, not all snowstorms reach the level of intensity required to be called a blizzard. The difference lies in three key ingredients: wind, snow, and visibility. It's not just about how much snow falls, but how the storm behaves. In the US, a blizzard means winds of at least 56 kilometers per h, or 35 miles per hour, combined with blowing or falling snow, and visibility reduced to less than 400 meters, about a quarter mile, for at least 3 hours straight. These are strict criteria set by meteorologists. Sometimes the snow isn't even falling from the sky, it's whipped up from the ground by fierce winds, creating what's known as a ground blizzard. This can happen even on a clear day if there's enough loose snow. The wind multiplies the cold, making it feel much colder than the thermometer reads, and the lack of visibility makes even a short walk dangerous. It's easy to get disoriented in these conditions. A blizzard isn't about how much snow falls, but how ferociously it's delivered. The violence of the wind and the blinding snow are what set it apart. For example, a meter of snow with little wind is just a snowstorm. It might be deep, but it's not a blizzard. But a storm with less snow and blinding winds is a true blizzard, a white monster on the prowl, making travel and outdoor activity nearly impossible. These conditions create a uniquely perilous environment, where roads become impassable and help can be hard to reach. When you hear blizzard, know it's a specific meteorological warning, not just a dramatic word for a snowstorm. It signals a storm where the wind is a weapon and the snow is a blinding curtain, making the world outside almost disappear. Only the relentless combination of these elements, powerful wind, blowing snow and vanishing visibility, earns the name blizzard. It's nature at its most intense and unforgiving. Blizzards are born from a powerful collision of atmospheric conditions. They form on the northwest side of intense, low-pressure systems, where cold polar air meets warm, moist air from the south. The cold air lifts the warm air, causing moisture to condense and fall as snow, if temperatures are below freezing. What makes it a blizzard is the steep pressure gradient, creating fierce winds that whip snow into whiteout conditions. Flat, open regions like North America's Great Plains and Siberia are prime blizzard territory. These storms can last for days, sustained by the clash of pressure systems. Meteorologists study these patterns to predict where winter giants will strike, giving communities time to prepare. Understanding their formation is key to staying safe. A blizzard is more than an inconvenience. It's a direct threat to life. When the wind howls and snow falls relentlessly, even the most familiar places can become treacherous and unrecognizable. The combination of extreme cold and powerful wind creates wind chill, making the air feel much colder than it is. What might read as -10 degrees can feel like -30, sapping warmth from the body at an alarming rate. This accelerates heat loss, leading to hypothermia and frostbite in minutes. Even brief exposure can be dangerous, especially for the young, elderly, or those without proper clothing. Blinding snow and zero visibility can disorient people just steps from safety. Landmarks vanish, and the world shrinks to a swirl of white, making navigation nearly impossible. The cardinal rule: stay indoors. Sheltering inside is often the only way to avoid the storm's most immediate dangers. Blizzards also attack infrastructure. Heavy snow can collapse roofs, and winds snap trees and power lines, causing widespread outages. Communities can be left isolated, with no way to call for help. Without power, homes lose heat fast, putting the vulnerable at risk. The cold creeps in, and families must find ways to stay warm and safe. Roads become impassable, cutting off emergency services. Even rescue teams can be stranded, unable to reach those in need. The economic impact is huge, with businesses closed and transport halted. Daily life grinds to a standstill, and recovery can take days or even weeks. Wildlife suffers too. Animals can be trapped, unable to find food or shelter. The storm tests the survival instincts of every living creature. The aftermath is a paralyzed city, struggling to recover. Streets must be cleared, power restored, and communities rebuilt. Blizzards reveal how quickly nature can dismantle our systems. The damage left behind is a stark reminder of our limits. They remind us of our vulnerability and the need for preparation. Stocking up on essentials and having a plan can make all the difference. The storm's danger lingers long after the snow stops falling. Ice, debris, and hidden hazards remain, demanding caution and patience. Survival depends on respect for the storm's power. Staying informed, prepared, and cautious is the key to weathering the perilous dance of ice and wind. History is marked by legendary blizzards that changed lives and cities. The Great Blizzard of 1888 buried New York and Boston, paralyzing the region and claiming over 400 lives. With little warning, people were caught unprepared, and infrastructure crumbled. Telegraph lines fell, isolating cities. The disaster spurred cities like New York to bury wires and build subways. The Schoolhouse Blizzard, also in 1888, struck the Great Plains with shocking speed, trapping children and teachers in whiteout conditions. Over 235 people died, many of them children. These tragedies taught hard lessons about respecting weather warnings and building resilient infrastructure. The storms became catalysts for change, shaping how cities prepare for winter. They remind us that nature's power is timeless, and our best defense is preparation. The echoes of these storms still shape our response to blizzards today. Even with modern technology, epic blizzards still strike. The blizzard of 1978 brought hurricane-force winds and buried homes in the U.S. Midwest, causing massive damage and loss of life. The 1993 storm of the century stretched from Canada to Central America, combining blizzard and hurricane traits, and left over 300 dead. In 2022, the Christmas blizzard hit North America with a bomb cyclone. Temperatures plunged, and relentless snow and wind trapped people for days. Despite accurate forecasts, the storm's intensity overwhelmed even the best-prepared cities. These events prove that technology can warn us, but nature's fury can still outpace our defenses. Preparation is more than a plan. It's about respecting the forecast and making safe choices. Modern blizzards are a humbling reminder. We can't control the storm, only our response. Each storm tests our readiness and resilience. The lesson is clear: never underestimate a blizzard. When a blizzard warning is issued, take it seriously. Preparation saves lives. Stay indoors and prepare your home to be a shelter for days. Build a survival kit: non-perishable food, water, flashlights, batteries, a radio, and a first aid kit. Keep warm with extra blankets, sleeping bags, and layered clothing. Gather everyone in one room to conserve heat, and block drafts with towels or blankets. Never use stoves or grills for heat. Carbon monoxide is deadly. If you have a fireplace, ensure it's ventilated and safe. If stranded in a vehicle, stay inside, run the engine occasionally, and keep the exhaust clear of snow. Tie a bright cloth to your antenna for visibility. Open a window slightly for fresh air. Drink water to avoid dehydration, and dress in layers even indoors. Check on elderly neighbors or family members. The dangers are real, but careful preparation can keep you safe. Respect the storm and look out for your community. Survival is about foresight and action. Technology is our greatest ally against blizzards. Weather satellites and Doppler radar track storms, measuring wind, moisture, and cloud patterns. Supercomputers run models to predict a blizzard's path and intensity days in advance. Warnings reach us instantly via TV, radio, smartphones, and social media. This rapid communication gives people time to prepare and stay safe. Governments can pre-position snowplows and emergency crews, while stores stock up on essentials. Utility companies ready repair teams for outages. For families, early warnings mean time to gather supplies and stay off roads. Technology can't stop a blizzard, but it transforms us from helpless to prepared. Our digital shield saves lives and changes how we face the storm. A blizzard is a raw display of Earth's power, humbling even the most advanced societies. The storm strips away civilization, returning the world to a primal state. Yet in the aftermath, human resilience shines. Communities unite, neighbors help each other, strangers dig out cars, and recovery begins together. The chaos gives way to a serene, white landscape, offering a moment of peace and reflection. The blizzard's beauty and danger are two sides of nature's cycle. We've learned to understand, anticipate, and prepare for these storms. But we'll never tame them. Blizzards remain symbols of the wildness that persists in our world. They test our limits and remind us of our connection to the planet. Each storm is a challenge and a testament to our strength. In facing the blizzard, we discover both awe and resilience, and we remember, respect for nature is our greatest survival tool.